All right, we're going to do part 2 of the mathematical knowledge exam for the ASVAB practice. I'll put a link right here for the first half of the test. I'm going to continue on with problem number 20 right here. There is no calculator on this. This is a mathematical knowledge. Kind of learns actually what you're supposed to have learned in a math class. So this is a lot different than arithmetic reasoning. Okay, in the last video, we finished up on number 13, so we're going to go forward from where we left off. We're going to start on 14, finish this test. Again, mathematical knowledge. This isn't really a good problem series that you could kind of just reason your way out. Mathematical knowledge is how well you paid attention in math class. So there are a lot of things you might have forgotten over the years. This is going to be a practice test to kind of help you figure out what you do remember, what you don't remember. I can't really teach you all of these mathematical ideas in a short video. I would just kind of work your way through this video with me, pausing the video, do the problem before I do it, unpause, watch how I do it, and then put a little note to yourself, review exponents or review area. I don't remember it at all. When you're all done, then we'll go back and have fill-in videos to help you sort that out. All right, so number 14, the area of a circle is 36 pi. Area of a circle is defined as pi r squared. So that's the area of a circle. Circumference, the distance around the outside, is 2 pi r. What is the diameter of the circle? So in my equation, I have radius, and here it's saying diameter. So I don't want to get caught on that. So if the area is pi r squared, and I'm told the area is 36 pi, they have to be equal to each other. I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by pi, right? That'll cancel. Now I have r squared is equal to 36. Square root of both sides, the radius is equal to 6. Easy to answer that, but that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for the diameter. Diameter is twice the radius, or correct answer, answer C. This is a circle centered at this point. This is a radius from the center to the outside. Diameter goes straight across. Circumference all the way around. Area is everything included in the inside. Number 15, if f of x equals this and g of x equals this, what is the value of f of g of x? It's kind of a hard problem, this function notation. What that's saying is you got to take this g of x value and plug it in for x. So you got to take that -3 and plug it in wherever there's an x. So that's what this means, f of g of x. So I'm going to have that 2 times -3 cubed. -3 times -3 is 9. 9 times -3 is -27. Take that -3 and plug it in here. So 5 times -3 squared, -3 times -3, 9, plus 2 times -3. Now that I've subbed it in, done my exponents, now I'm going to multiply out. This is going to be -54, 45, -6. I think I'll combine my -54 and -6 to get -60. -60 and 45 is -15. Correct answer, answer D. That's a pretty hard one. That's function notation again. Number 16, the diagonal of a rectangle, I'm just taking that sentence and turning it into a picture, is 10 inches. And the height of the rectangle is 6 inches. What is the perimeter around the outside? Well, if that's 6, this is 6. Let me see if I can figure it out from there. That's already 12. I got to add those two sides. If I had to take a guess because I'm running out of time, I would guess at 28 inches. But what it's asking you really is to use Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared, one leg squared, plus the other leg squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. This is actually also a Pythagorean triple. It's going to work out to be integers. It might be one you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. So that's going to be 8. And then I'm going to have 8, 8, 12, and 12. That's going to give me the 28. But let's go ahead and do this. Just review the Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared is 36 plus x squared equals 100. Subtract 36 from both sides. X squared equals 64. Square root of both sides. X is actually equal to 8 or negative 8. But I discard the negative because we're talking about the length of a side. So then I know this side here is 8. Again, 8 plus 8, 16. 12 plus 6 plus 6, 12. 16 and 12, 28. Correct answer, D, right there. Okay, number 17, the perimeter of a trapezoid below, it is not drawn on a scale, it's 38. So that means this plus this plus this plus this equals 38. I don't know what that is. That's why I call it the variable x. What is the area? Oh, so there's quite a few problems here. So first thing we got to do is figure out what that is. So 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 and 13 is 26. 26 and that fourth side is equal to the perimeter 38, right? Subtract 26 from both sides and x is equal to 12. So now I have all my sides. These are parallel sides, these are non-parallel sides. The way I figure this out is I draw a line. I mean, I really kind of want to create a rectangle like this, right, where that little triangle is the same as that triangle. And then I could do 12 times the overall height. So the way I do that is I actually take these two and I average them. So I take 4 plus 9, the two sides, average them, so I divide them by 2. 13 divided by 2, 13 divided by 2 is going to be 6.5. So this average height here is 6.5. Then I'm going to do 6.5 times that 12. Let me look over there and see if anything looks close. 12 times 6 is 72, so it's going to be a little more than 72. So I could go write the answer B. But let's multiply it out. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1, 5 plus 1, 6. Placeholder. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 plus 1, 7. Add these up. 0, 8, 7. I got decimal place over 1 here. I go over 1 there to get 78. Centimeters times centimeters is square centimeters. Correct answer, answer B. This is a pretty hard one. There are a lot of steps here, right? You got to find the missing side from the perimeter. Once you have that side, you got to find the area of a trapezoid, which is a bit of an averaging of the parallel sides. Because I'm really cutting this little triangle off, pasting it here, and trying to find that overall height. Number 18, if f of x equals 2x to the third plus 2 and x equals 1 over x, what's the value of g of x? So this is actually probably a little bit of a typo. This is g of x. I'm going to take that value of g of x and plug it in. So I take that value of 1 over x and I put it in there to get 2 times 1 over x cubed plus 2. So then I got to do my exponents before I multiply. 1 to the third, 1 times 1 times 1. So I have 2, 1 over x to the third plus 2. I can multiply that 2 through to get a 2 over x to the third plus 2. Take a look over there if any of those work. Answer D right there. Okay, this is similar to a previous one, but I think the number's a little different. A ship left port A and traveled 80 miles due west, and then 150 miles due north, creating a right angle there. What is the shortest distance the cruise to port A? So again, it's a hypotenuse. So this is what we're looking for. Again, I'm going to drop my zeros, 15 and 8. I do know that the longest side, the hypotenuse, always has to be longest. So if this is 150, it has to be longer than 150. Correct answer D right there. It's the only one longer than 150. So if you knew those tricks, you could just circle D and be done with the problem. I'm going to keep going just to show you how to do it. So then I have 15 squared plus 8 squared equals hypotenuse squared, x squared. 15 times 15 is 225 plus 8 squared, 64 equals x squared. I add those together, 289, is that right? Equals x squared. And then square root of both sides, I guess square root of 289 is 17. It is. That's 17. Remember, I dropped the zeros, add it back on. Correct answer, answer D. Number 20, if the ratio of 5a to 2b, so the ratio of 5a to 2b, that's what that word 2 means, is equals 1 to 10, right? What is the ratio of a to b? So I have to get a and b by themselves. So I need to get rid of the 5 and the 2, right? So the hardest part of this problem, without a doubt, is just translating this sentence to that picture and then identifying exactly what it is we want. So if I want a to b, I have that a to b, but I have the 5 and the 2 I have to get rid of. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to multiply this by a 2 over a 5. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. That 2 will cancel with that 2. That 5 with that 5. Whole reason I did that was to get a and b as a ratio like that. If I do that to the left side, I also have to do it to the right side. So I have to multiply the right side by 2 over 5. I multiply across the top 2 over 10 times 5, 50. I can reduce that fraction. 2 goes into here 1 times. 2 goes into here 25 times. So now I have a is to b as 1 is to 25. I look at my answers, answer C right there. That's a hard problem, primarily just decoding what they're asking you. Again, this isn't really to teach you all of this math. It's kind of to refresh the ideas and help you build strategies on how to set up the problems, identify what you're trying to solve for, and then solve for that solution. Number 21, x is equal to 9. What is the value of y in the following equation? So I'm solving for y, and I'm giving x is equal to 9. So I got to take that 9 for x and plug it in there. Order of operation is really important here. I have to do my exponents first. So I'm going to take that 9, plug it in there. I get to square it. 9 times 9 is 81. So I have 2 times 81 all over 3 plus 6. And that 2y is equal to that. So now that I've done my exponents, next thing I'm going to do is my multiplication. 81 times 2 is 162. 162 divided by 3 plus 6. I can see if this is divisible by 3 by adding up all the digits. If 1 plus 6, 7, plus 2, 9. If that 9 is divisible by 3, then 162 is going to be divisible by 3. So 162 by 3. 3 goes into 16 5 times. 15. 6 minus 5, 1. Bring down to 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So this thing right here is 54. So this is the 54. 54 plus 6. So now I have 2y is equal to that 54 plus 6, or 60. I'm not solving for I'm not solving for 2y. This is a distractor because you feel like, oh, I got the answer, I'm just going to circle it. But I'm actually solving for y. So I got this really highlighted to remember that I got to divide both sides by 2. Now that I've done that, now I have y by itself. So y is equal to 60 divided by 2, or 30. Answer A right there. Number 22, if x minus 3 is equal to n, and n is equal to 6, what is the value of x? A pretty similar problem. I have to plug 6 in, but I'm going to plug it in at that answer here. So I have x minus 3 over 5 is equal to 6. I have to get that x by itself. Want to get rid of that 5. It's currently the left side is being divided by 5. So if I multiply the left side by a 5, Those will cancel. Again, if I do it to the left, also have to do it to the right. Now I have x minus 3 is equal to 30. Getting x by itself, I add 3 to both sides. And I can see x is equal to 33. Correct answer, answer D right here. Number 23, which of the following is equal b to the 3/5? So this you have to know the definition of square roots. If I have the square root of, say, x, and there are no numbers written on there, that's equal to x to the 1/2. There's no number on the x, so it's implied it's a 1. This is a square root, meaning that it takes the square root of a square, so it's implied it's a 2. So this number right here is the numerator. That number right there is the denominator. So that means I'm going to take the 5th root, just like that 2's down here, the 5th root of b to the 3rd is another way to write it in fractional exponents or in root form. I look over here, b to the 3rd and the 5th root of it, answer C. That one you just have to know the definition of the fractional exponents. Number 24, on Saturday, Sarah read n pages. Again, all I'm going to do right here is convert all of these words, this whole paragraph, into notation. So Sarah read n pages of a book for 3 hours. So there's Sarah, n pages for 3 hours. And Mary read m pages of a book for 4 hours. Which of the following represents the total number of pages read by both of them? That Saturday is a little bit of a distractor. So that means she read n pages an hour. Let's say n is equal to 10. 10 times 3 would be the total number, and that would be the same for her. So I multiplied the 3 by the n. So Sarah reads 3n. Mary reads 4m. Together, you would add them together to get the total number of pages. 3n plus 4m. Correct answer, answer B right there. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. Teach high school math in woodshop. I make these videos to help my students be successful on the ASVAB. Really take that exam seriously. The better you do on it, the more you qualify, the more you're able to do in the military. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Love to hear how you're doing, where you are on the ASVAB entrance exam. Again, this video is not really to teach you all these different levels of math. It was a practice arithmetic reasoning test. We have one more problem. I'll go over that in a second. And then you take this test, see how you do compared to how I did it. And then you might have to go back and review, I don't know, fractions or whatever you're weak on. If you're consistently getting a certain section wrong, I'll make a video for that section. So now I'm going to go through that book and kind of fill in all of the worksheets. The way you get good at anything is by practicing. So the more problems you do, not watch me do, but the ones you actually do, the better you get. Okay, let's wrap it up on number 25. Sarah opened a bank account that earned 2% compounded annually. That's important. So I'm going to earn interest on interest. Her initial deposit was $150, and she uses the expression 150x to the n to find the value of the account. The value of the account, that's also important. We're not looking for the interest. We're looking for the total value of the account after n years. What is the value of x in this expression? So I have 150 times x to the power of n, and n we know is going to be the number of years, and that's going to be 2. The key here is that I want the value of the account, and I have 2% here, right? 2%. If I convert that to a decimal, I go over 1, 2, and I get 0.02. That's kind of a distractor right there, 0.02. But I want the value of the account after n years. So it's not the 2% interest. It is the whole amount plus the 2% interest. So the value of x right here is 1.02. That's going to give you the total amount of money she's going to have in the bank, compounded annually. And the key is that I include the initial principal amount with that 1. Correct answer, answer D right there. All right, I sure hope this helped. Thank you for watching.